Hi there, Aquarius. I'm EllaAradia, and welcome to your November 2025 Psychic Tarot reading. This reading is for my Aquarius air signs, where we'll be exploring the overall energies and themes for the month ahead, as well as taking a deeper dive into how these might be playing out for you in your life. This is a general reading. It's going to resonate a little bit differently for all of you. What I do find, though, is there's always a shared theme that runs through the collective of all of you Aquarius signs. So take what feels aligned to you and just leave the rest. And before we jump in, a big thank you to all of you who are supporting my channel by liking and subscribing. So if you enjoy this reading and you haven't already done that, please do. It helps the channel out a lot. It doesn't cost anything to subscribe, and then you can get notified when the next videos are up. So Aquarius, let's jump in. So I always like to tune into the energies first, Aquarius, before I start pulling cards. I always like to see what gets shown to me. I'm seeing some lessons around choosing yourself in some way. You know, whether that's related to a relationship or a job. Whatever it is, it's something that feels unhealthy or unfulfilling in some way for you. But what I keep hearing is, but it feels familiar. With your overall energies, the 10 of Cups, wishes granted, dreams come true, that emotional contentment and happiness. What lies in your recent past, the Page of Cups. Some of you may have had a new offer, a new creative opportunity of some kind. It also represents a new emotional beginning inside of yourself sometimes. Your current energies, the 7 of Cups, a card of potential, of options, of possibility. Your feelings towards your situation, the Knight of Cups. Just want to look at your challenge. The challenge, the Ace of Swords. I feel like this is a challenge going on around perhaps seeing the whole truth of a situation here, because the Ace of Swords usually comes in to cut through the illusions of a situation, to, you know, really illuminate the truth. And sometimes, you know, that can be difficult to face because it can involve perhaps facing some fears inside of ourselves. Because what I'm feeling in terms of, you know, love and relationships, I see somebody in your past. It may be an ex that you're dealing with, or it may be your current connection. You know, it feels like there's still some kind of connection between the two of you. It may be someone that you're feeling like you want to kind of move on from. And it's this energy for me of them sort of kind of being emotionally available, kind of showing up in the way that you need, but almost only just doing enough to maintain the connection. And so it's like they're there, but they're not fully present. And I just keep getting this strong sense of, you know, there may be something from your past that, you know, there needs to be a little bit of inner child, you know, healing work done. It may have been a parent that wasn't fully present, or a parent that perhaps left. And we very often tend to create, you know, what feels familiar according to, you know, what our past experiences are. You know, we create our definition of, you know, love, you know, through our past experiences, love and family. Because when I feel into this person, there's this feeling to me of they feel like family. And so even though they're not fully present, even though they are not really 100% giving you, what you truly need from the connection here, somehow it feels familiar. Because what I also pick up on here is a little bit of fear around letting go and being on your own, perhaps. The fear of what might happen if you let go of that connection, that person. And with your hidden influence here, we have the Nine of Pentacles, working towards, the abundance that you really want in life. To come to a point of, feeling self-sufficient, independence, freedom. And in terms of love, this may be the invitation here, because the Page of Cups, it can also represent some kind of, new beginning emotionally inside of yourself. Of perhaps healing, any fears or insecurities or, around being alone or abandonment wounds. And investing in yourself right now with this Nine of Pentacles. And I do feel with this Knight of Cups, as your feelings towards your situation, there is a big part of your energy that does want to, move forwards and have this fresh start in your life. And, to move towards a place that ultimately, is better for you, where you're more whole and complete. And in terms of career, this may be a job that, there was a lot of potential. I feel like you definitely saw the potential of, what it could be. But somehow, it's not really giving you what you truly want. So there's something that, doesn't feel entirely, satisfying for you. Some of you may be thinking of branching out on your own, being, perhaps self-employed or investing in your own project. Some of you may have had a side business that you might have been considering, doing more with. And this is what, these soul lessons are all about, around choosing yourself and, making choices which are going to lead you to a more abundant and happy and fulfilled place in yourself and in life. And in terms of love, this person in your past that I was talking about, you saw the potential. This is a card of potential, but, unless something actually really manifests, each of these cups has something different in them, but unless something actually manifests, they just remain, dreams. And with your advice from the universe here, the Ten of Pentacles, working towards the long term, building strong foundations with a view to, building towards something that really stands the test of time and really brings you that security. So you're definitely at a point of, really looking at, what are your options here moving forwards? Because you do have options, and you are at a point of, looking at those options and seeing what else is out there for you, what other potentials are there. And with the Knight of Cups, this is about, I feel, following your heart, and whatever action you choose to take here, make that choice, from a place of truth and from what your heart is truly telling you here. Because, you know, what I do feel quite strongly, whether this relates to a relationship or a job, you know, to get to this 10 of Cups, we have to stop settling for less, and we have to start choosing ourselves. And really, you know, from the energy of self-love and value and worth and doing what's really right for you. Because when you do that, that shifts your energy. And then, you know, people actually start to mirror that back to you, and you can attract the person that you really want. You can bring in, you know, that abundance in your career. But sometimes, you know, we have to get more in the energy of investing in ourselves and choosing ourselves and really doing what's right for you, Aquarius. So in your outcome, we have the Six of Pentacles here. And this is all about these energies of give and take, of the balance of that, you know, within your relationships, your situations. It's also a card letting you know that support is coming after perhaps a difficult or challenging time. But a reminder, you know, that, you know, it's about receiving back what you are putting into a person or a project or a situation. And what lies beyond that, the Four of Cups. Some kind of offer, whether that's in love, career, some kind of offer that, you know, the universe is going to bring in for you. If you follow your heart and, you know, you do what truly feels right for you here. And I definitely feel that, you know, this is just a gentle reminder to really pay attention to what is coming in, and make sure that you don't get too kind of caught up in the past, or too caught up in maybe what's not working, to the point where, you know, you might miss any kind of new blessings or opportunities that, you know, the universe is bringing in for you. So Aquarius, I'm going to leave it there. If this reading resonated, let me know in the comments below. I'd love to hear from you. And as always, no matter what comes through in a reading, moving forwards, always trust what feels right for you. So thanks so much for being here, and I wish you a great month ahead.